All right, thank you so much for joining me today, Adana. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Is it all right with you if I take some notes today?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So, just a recap of looking over my notes and what we talked about last time was you were struggling with a long distance relationship with your fiance. So, do you want to tell me a little bit about how that's been going since our last session?
Well, hasn't really been going for the better. Kind of took a turn for the worse.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, so we originally had problems where our schedules didn't really match up, yet he wants to communicate all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit insecure, just
Yeah.
like. And I obviously don't have that time because of classes and my internship and work. So,
Right.
I have enough on my plate to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll call at like random hours. I mean, even though I might have told him 10 times I have class at 9 to 12, he'll call at 10:30.
Okay, so you're even giving him your schedule to try and assuage some of that fear of what you were doing, and he was still calling, is what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it would be pretty intense because I would put my phone on like do not disturb for that time because I know he will call. And so then if it goes like straight to voicemail or whatever, then he's like, where were you? Why did it go straight to voicemail? Who were you with? So
Automatically kind of making assumptions and jumping to conclusions.
yeah. So I just thought about, like just talking to him about it. And the time that I, mustered up my courage and called him, I was like, hey, I really think that we need to talk and just set things straight.
Okay, and how did that work out?
Not well. He completely blew up.
He's
like, what? What do we need to talk about? You're going to tell me that you found somebody else, that you're cheating on me? It's over. And I'm like, no.
Can you tell me some of the verbiage that you used in the beginning of your conversation that maybe would have led him to jump to this conclusion? Or do you feel like it was completely unwarranted?
I really think it was unwarranted because I said, hey, I feel like there have been some issues with our communication lately that I'd like to address and get to the bottom of. So, I don't see what communication, well, I wouldn't jump to that conclusion, you're cheating on me and all that, but I guess he would because it's like, oh, well, this is why you haven't been answering my calls or texting me back.
Even though you've already given him explicit, detailed information about why you're not answering his calls. That 9 to 12, you have this class, and 4 to 8:30, or your internship, things of that nature.
Yeah, I mean...
How does that make you feel?
It's just so much. Really stressed out. I mean, I would like take photos of where I'm at that time and then send it to him.
I bet that it was difficult for you to feel like you had to constantly justify your actions and defend yourself. I can imagine that that would be pretty tiresome, especially considering all of the other things that you are currently dealing with grad school and your job and now with your internship.
It really is. It really is. I don't think it's fair. And I don't feel like it should be like that.
How do you feel like it should be?
I feel like because we've been going out for about 2 years now and we're engaged, and you talked about a wedding after school, like after I graduate, I feel like we should be understanding each other. It's, it's not like we've been together for a week or a month.
Right. You guys have a much longer, more established history.
Right. And things were not like this before I came out here. I mean, we talked about it, and he was okay with me coming out here. And yet now that I'm out here, it's like a whole new person.
So have you had any conversations with him about this, that you feel like he's changing and becoming a different person than you've been with this whole time?
I really didn't get a chance to. That was,
Yeah, so
all
tell
kinda-
me tell me more about this conversation. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Oh no, it's fine. If he went off, he says, "Yeah, I know you're cheating on me and you're probably ending it, but fine, whatever." And I was like, "Wait, give me a chance to explain." He's like, "No, whatever." Called me a bunch of names and hung up on me.
Oh my.
And I tried calling him back, and he just sends me texts with like, "Bitch, it's over. Don't contact
Oh, wow.
me again." And so
Do you feel like these text messages are threatening?
I don't think the text messages are,
Mhm.
but I have a couple of friends from back home
Mhm.
that are friends with him on Facebook
Mhm.
because he blocked me on Facebook. Surprisingly,
Wow.
blocked all possible communication ways. So,
Mhm.
but he posts these statuses about, "You destroyed my life. I'll make you pay."
Oh my, that seems pretty threatening.
It is. I think the nice thing is that they are like taking screenshots of these and they're
Mhm.
sending it to me.
Mhm.
So I've kind of already started a folder with like, so far, I have about like 5 or 6 pretty threatening messages that I'm just kind of keeping just in case it escalates,
Mhm.
which, really wouldn't be surprised if it did.
Mhm.
But, and I don't know, like after that conversation, I felt very betrayed.
I can understand that completely.
Yeah, because it's like here I am trying to work things out, and while I'm juggling everything over here, I have more changes to adjust to than you. But it's like, you didn't even give me a chance to explain, and now you're like putting out all these threatening messages. Like, that's very immature.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is that you feel like he never really put himself in your shoes. He never really tried to make an effort to understand all of the different things that you're going through and sacrifices that you're making to try and still stay in pretty constant, pretty accessible communication with him. Is that correct?
Yes.
And so, since you have ceased communication with him, how have you felt?
Well, it was hard at first. Like,
How so?
I just felt very stressed out and
Mhm.
emotional, and
It's completely understandable.
I didn't sleep for like a week, and
Mhm.
I had trouble eating,
Mm.
and
How is your eating habits now? Have they returned to normal?
they're getting better.
That's good.
I kind of got tired of feeling that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have a few friends here that, I guess they heard me through, they just saw me through everything. So they're like,
Mm-hmm.
We should do a bonfire and like get rid of all this negative energy because they
Mhm.
had a few negative experiences too.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I think ever since then, I've been much better.
So you would say that was a pretty cathartic experience for you?
Oh, yeah, because I took the ring
Mm-hmm.
that he gave me, my engagement ring,
Mm-hmm.
I threw that into the fire.
And how was that for you?
It was like all this weight lifted off my shoulders. And it's like, really? You think, you're all cool with these threatening messages? I had one of my friends, like, video it, like,
Mhm.
record it,
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing. And then I put that on a DVD and mailed it off to him with the letter.
And what did your letter say?
Letter was basically saying, like, you know what? I think it's pretty unfair that you didn't give me the chance to explain
Mm-hmm.
because I really did want to work things out.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm fed up with this. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm to agreeing that it's over,
Mm-hmm.
and this is your proof.
What was your purpose behind sending this letter and this DVD to him?
Well, just to say that it's like you're not going to walk all over me, like,
So to stand up for yourself?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And I think it hit pretty hard because it's after that he posted this status about like, you're a bitch and I'll get you back for this.
Do you
And
feel like that was retribution in his mind?
Probably.
Okay. Do you feel like there's any imminent threat to you, like in your physical being, with him trying to come up here and maybe confront you in person, or is he pretty non-combative in that way?
He knows I'm in Chicago, but he doesn't know where. So I really don't think he's stupid enough to just like catch a plane to Chicago and start knocking door to door.
Right.
You know? Be pretty dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he wouldn't. But I'm still playing it safe because he has been violent in a previous relationship.
Not in yours?
Not in mine.
Okay.
But I kind of feel like this whole thing is almost like a going back to what he did in his previous relationship. So it's like better that I get out of here.
Yeah, I can definitely understand how you would feel that way. How has your friends and family been able to support you through this?
Well, me and my mom are very close, and she's said, like, you know, if you had chosen to stay with him and he makes you happy, you know, I totally understand, and we'd support you no matter what. But she says, you know, because he's like this, I'm glad that you got out, and, you know, we've got your back if you need anything. So
Well, that must be comforting for you to have that support.
I think it makes me stronger, too. I think it kind of gave me the courage
To stick with this decision?
and to stand up for myself.
Okay, to make the decision and to stick up for yourself. So how have you been feeling as an individual since you've been able to stand up for yourself and distance yourself from what I would say you would describe as a pretty toxic relationship? You would describe it as such?
I would.
Okay.
I would. I feel refreshed.
Okay.
I feel free.
In what way?
I mean, like, just taking pictures of myself in front of, like, the office building or the school upon arrival or leaving and then in front of my house. Like, that just seemed very exhausting.
Yeah,
and
I
I
can
really don't
imagine.
think it should be like that.
How do you think it should be?
Well, I shouldn't owe you an explanation for every single place that I go or leave, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like we should be trusting each other, not placing this like whole amount of lot of control, and it just felt like I didn't want to do it, you know? It's like, oh, I gotta send another picture. Gotta send another text. It's like
It was almost an obligatory relationship, like contractual, less
Yes.
than it was relational and romantic.
Yes. Ever since I came here.
Mhm.
Before I came here, we saw each other more, and it worked well. I mean, you know, worked well enough that we were going to get married, but
How would you work through conflict or disagreements in the past before you moved here?
we only had one, and that had to do with he introduced me to one of his friends. We like played a game, and then like we were talking on Skype, and he was in the conversation, and me and that friend connected really well, and so you know he added me on Skype, and we would just like chat, and he added me on Facebook and stuff, and
Was
then,
this a male friend?
yes.
Okay.
And so then my fiance and him got into an argument. And so then my fiance turned to like, oh, he likes you. He's going to ask you out. You're probably going to leave me for him. And I was like, no, like, I don't want him. You know?
So this was
You know,
before you moved here?
Yes.
Okay, so those insecurities seem to be something that was rooted before your relationship moved to here then?
Yeah. I feel like it started and escalated as time went by.
Okay. So since you've been able to kind of do what you want to do, what have you been doing?
I've been working. School. My school work has improved. Just like,
That's fantastic. I would imagine so, with one less stressor in your life and a very
Yeah.
big stressor.
and sleeping more,
Mm-hmm.
eating better. I have more time to like, hang out with friends that I've met rather than like, oh, I gotta spend an hour talking to him or letting him know what I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I swear I wouldn't be surprised if he had like a portfolio of my daily activity. This is when I got up, and it's like a picture of me doing this, and then
Mm-hmm.
this is me eating breakfast, and this is me going here. Here I am by the bus. You see the bus number. This is me getting off, walking. It's like all of these things.
Mm-hmm. So it kind of seems like it became almost a parent-child relationship where you had to
Yeah.
constantly check in and prove where you were, who you were with, and what you were doing. Would you agree with that?
I would. I really would, because it was insane. I mean, he had it down to like, okay, so it takes you about 10 minutes to walk from school to the bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
And the bus comes at this time, and it takes you this long to get home. So why has it been 5 minutes like late after that, and you're not home yet?
Mm-hmm.
So
So he's very schedule oriented and seems to
Oh
be very
my gosh.
unforgiving
Very.
of life kind of happening, because buses are late, trains are late, traffic is different every day here. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it's pretty similar in New York. I've never been there, but I would assume it's pretty similar in a big metropolis city also.
Oh yeah, even more hectic.
Yeah.
There more people, buses and trains. So I mean, I don't know where this is all coming from, but it's probably just that insecurity that like started with the seed and now is blooming into this huge bouquet that's like hard to kill.
Yeah. So since moving past this relationship and being able to be with your friends more and be able to invest in yourself more, what are kind of some goals that you see for yourself in the future?
Just keeping myself safe from him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not really rushing into another relationship. Just wanna
It's been about a week and a half since y'all broke up?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think I need my time.
I would agree. I think, especially after being in such a long relationship, some people find that being able to rediscover who they are as an individual is a very exciting time. And
Mhm.
especially for you being in this brand new city and having all of these new opportunities available at your fingertips, I think that this will be a good place for you to kind of get to know yourself more. And then in the future that will allow you to more surely explore avenues that really suit your needs best, rather than what seems to me that you always put your fiance's needs above your own. You'll now be able to kind of look out for yourself and be able to forge your own way and your own path, which I think is really, really exciting for you.
It is. I'm looking forward to it. There's just so much to discover, so much to do. It gets to be about me. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had my time, my alone time in a few months, maybe
Yeah.
even years, because
He was always there wanting to know what you were doing.
well,
I mean, there was a point in time when you
Yeah.
liked that because y'all were.
it kind of felt
in a
like,
good
oh, you
relationship.
care, but it's like
Mhm.
now that the distance is there and all this is in place, I told him, I'm like, I feel like you don't consider everything that I'm doing and that I have going on. He's like, well, I've been in school too, I know what it's like. I was like, yeah, but I have like 2 10-page papers due tomorrow, and you're over here like, why can't you text me?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, so I've done that before. I was like, well, grad school is not like undergrad. He's like,
Mhm.
whatever, blow it off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I didn't come here to blow it off. So, I'm going to make the best time out of being here and go from there.
So I'm sensing that you still have some pretty upset feelings about him and about your relationship and how you were treated poorly. So what's your plan to kind of work through this and to deal with it?
Well, music helps me a lot, and keeping busy. And I have a lot of that with an internship, work, school, and then, hanging out with my friends
Mm-hmm.
and exploring Chicago
Mm-hmm.
and meeting new people. So, there's a lot. And
There's a lot to keep you distracted.
yeah.
Which distractions are good, but it's also good to kind of deal with those feelings and those frustrations head on. Have you ever thought about journaling, or have you journaled in the past?
I have in the past, but I haven't in a while.
I think journaling is a really good way, if it's something that you're interested in or something you feel comfortable, to be able to get out how you feel. Have those thoughts, put them from your head down on a paper, and be able to kind of really work through them and deal with them in a more real and concrete way by actually seeing those words on the page, or just being able to express yourself fully without having to worry about disclosing all of your feelings to entrusting that to another person. Because I can imagine after opening up with your fiance for so long, it will probably be something that's maybe difficult for you for a little while to open up to that level. And so maybe if you feel comfortable with it, before next session, try some journaling and see how you feel with that.
I will. I'll give that a try.
So tell me a little bit more about your internship. I know that you hadn't started it before last session, and then you started it between our sessions.
Well, I tutor little kids in my kindergarten, teaching them.
Fun.
Yeah. They're lovely little kids, and I only have like 2 or 3 assigned to me.
Okay, so manageable amount.
Yeah, definitely. And they're just really goofy and funny, and it makes you laugh, and it's very easygoing, and I think that's a highlight of my afternoon. Couple days a week, like, it's just, nice. I mean, nothing like a kid, so innocent, just makes you smile with like the goofiest things where they think, I don't know, like coloring a pumpkin blue is the funniest, most hilarious thing in the world.
Yeah.
Just like simple things like that.
Yeah, it kind of makes you appreciate the innocence of kids a lot, I would imagine. And so you found that it's been a really good thing for you?
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
I enjoy it.
That's great. And you've been able to balance that with everything else that you've been having to do, and it hasn't been stress-inducing. It's been kind of a stress reliever for you?
Yeah. He was my stress.
Yeah.
So getting rid of that was like a reliever.
I can imagine
Pretty
that.
nice.
I can imagine that. When anybody puts high expectations on our time, when we're
She's whining like crazy.